Okay, good afternoon everyone. Kindly comment if my voice is audible sa inyong mga devices. It's either in the chat box or comment section or sa atong GC. Kindly confirm if my voice is audible. So I just need your confirmation para makatiwas na ta. Is my voice audible sa tanan sa inyong gadgets, sa inyong mga apps? Okay, good afternoon. Welcome. Maestrado, Ronnie, Obsid, Kail, Rabia, Gaba, Kitab, Habay, Pagaho. Okay, anyone who can confirm that my voice is audible? Okay, anyone from BPA class? Please confirm if madunggan ba ko ninyo. Dungog dili. Okay, good afternoon tanan. Madungog ko ninyo. How about now? Pasok na? Okay, how about now? Pasok na? Okay. Hinay ako tingog. So, alis na to. Okay, how about now? Kusog na? Kini kay mas kusog na. Okay, Messino, Maestrado, Alin, Habay. Kusog na ba? Kini kay mas duol ang microphone. Okay. So let's start. So reminder lang, tanan, ang quiz na to sa Thursday is chapter 2. Again, sa Thursday, ang quiz na to is chapter 2. And then oral explanation dayon sa chapter 3 and chapter 4. Okay, murag inyohan na ng daghan nga extra voices kay dire wala man. Okay ra man diri sa no extra voices. So let's start. So chapter 3, human acts. We have there the learning outcomes, quotation, and the explanation. And then, of course, our main topics in chapter 3, classifications of human acts. We have there the morally good acts, morally evil acts, and morally indifferent acts. And then we have there the activities as well as the answers and the explanations. And lastly, we have the references. So first, we tackle the learning outcomes for chapter 3. So in the process and at the end of the discussion, learners must be able to first develop the ability to identify and distinguish morally good acts, morally evil acts, and morally indifferent acts. Second, gain insight into behaviors that align with ethical ideals, contribute positively to well being, and foster a sense of morality. Third, apply the concept of morally good acts in practical scenarios, both individually and collectively. Also, understand how positive actions contribute to the well being of individuals and society. Fourth, comprehend the ethical implications of moral evil acts and their potential to cause harm, suffering, and injustice. Fifth, understand that the categorization of human act is not always clear and may vary based on ethical theories, cultural perspectives, and contextual factors. And then lastly, number 6, develop critical thinking skills in moral judgment, considering circumstances, intentions, and outcomes in evaluating behaviors. So we have there the chapter code and the explanation. So let me read it for you. Ethical behaviors like seeds of love and honesty grow into a garden of compassion, integrity, and support when planted in the fertile soil of our community. So in the box, may siya ang atoang explanation. So this quote implies that morally decent deeds or actions establishes the foundation for a healthy and caring environment. These ethical activities, like seeds that grow into blooming plants, contribute to the establishment of a culture defined by compassion, integrity, and mutual support. It highlights the transforming impact of individual choices on the community's collective well-being. So, to the main topics on chapter 3, classifications of human acts. So, human acts are either in accordance with agreement or contrary disagreement to the laws of reason. And this relationship, either in accordance with or against to reason, defines their morality. So in ethical philosophy, there are three categories of human acts: the morally good acts, morally evil acts, and morally indifferent acts. So let's discuss first morally good acts. Okay, so morally good acts are acts that are morally right or noble. They are consistent with ethical ideals and contribute positively to one's own or others' well-being. Kindness, honesty, generosity, compassion, and fairness are all examples of morally desirable performed acts. Acts of generosity, assisting those in needs, stating or telling the truth, and acts of selflessness are its examples. So, in simple words, it is morally good act when the act is in harmony with the dictates of right and correct reason. Again, let me emphasize, dictates of right and correct reason. Diyan nato nabawaan ang morally good act. Dili lang kay sa right reason, dili lang pud kay sa correct reason, but both right and correct reason. So in there we have examples. So organizing a fundraising event to benefit a local orphanage and include disabled person demonstrates acts of kindness, compassion, and generosity. Advocating for honesty and truth and presenting findings during a collaborative assignment or katong mga groupings demonstrates moral integrity. Furthermore, tutoring and guiding struggling classmates is an example of selflessness. These morally beneficial activities promote caring and ethical collegiate atmosphere or community, benefiting both individuals and society as a whole. Okay, so classification number two, we have the morally evil acts. So these are activities that are morally repugnant or immoral. They are unethical and cause hurt, suffering, or injustice to themselves or others. Dishonesty, harshness, greed, and unfairness are common characteristics of morally bad performed acts. Acts of aggression, lying, stealing, and purposely inflicting harm to others are its examples. So, in simple words, it is considered morally evil acts when the act is in opposition with the dictates of right and correct reason. Examples here, cheating on examinations, quizzes, being hostile and harsh in group projects, spreading false stories, and stealing or harming others' property are all examples of morally evil behavior. These activities are ethically unacceptable and unethical because they inflict harm, misery, or injustice to oneself or others. Dishonesty, harshness, greed, and unfairness are frequent traits of morally wrongdoings, and they undermine the values of honesty, compassion, and fairness that are necessary for establishing a healthy and supportive campus community. And then third, the last of the classifications of human acts, we have here morally indifferent acts. So these are behaviors that do not have direct moral or ethical significance. They are neither intrinsically good nor evil and may be influenced by human preference or individual decisions. Morally indifferent activities are often value neutral, with no moral responsibilities or ethical repercussions. So, for example, everyday actions such as deciding what to wear, listening to music, or participating in recreational pastimes are examples of morally indifferent acts. So, in simple words, it is a morally indifferent act when the act stand in no position, in no positive relation, to the dictates of reason. However, sa morally indifferent act, kaya nga naman na may however, because in theory, morally indifferent acts exist, but in practice, they do not exist. Okay? So, a neutral or morally indifferent act becomes good or evil depending on the conditions that determine its performance, particularly the aim in view, the motive, the purpose. or the intention of the act's doer or agent. Okay, so human act categorization is not always clear and can be subjective depending on the context. What is deemed ethically good or bad varies depending on ethical theory or cultural perspectives. Certain behaviors may fall into moral gray area in which their moral judgment is contingent or changing in certain circumstances, intentions, or outcomes. Okay, so let's continue. Understanding the numerous classifications of human acts is critical for ethical analysis, moral decision making, and judging persons on moral character. It provides a framework for debating and evaluating activities based on their ethical implications and compliance with the moral norms. Understanding this contrast enables us to handle knotty moral quandaries or problems or issues with greater clarity and cultural sensitivity. We can develop a more informed and compassionate society that accepts different points of view while adhering to basic ethical standards by engaging in ethical analysis. Okay, so that is chapter 3. Next to that, my activity again, true or false with their answers and explanations. Okay, so study that for next week's quiz. Okay, so let's continue with chapter 4. Chapter 4 is entitled Components of Human Acts. And again, we have there the contents. And then we'll proceed now to read some learning outcomes. In the process and at the end of the discussion, learners must be able to first develop the ability to assess and comprehend the significance of knowledge in decision-making processes. Number two, cultivate an understanding of the role of freedom as the foundation for personal liberty and self-determination. Number three, recognize the importance of voluntariness in fostering internal motivation and a sense of purpose in actions. Number four, apply the concepts of knowledge, freedom, and voluntariness to make informed and responsible decisions in academic and real life situations. Fifth, acknowledge the interconnectedness of knowledge, freedom, and voluntariness in shaping individual agency and personal development. Number six, appreciate the ethical implications of the components of human acts and their role in contributing to a just and respectful society. So again, we have the chapter code, understanding the interplay of human acts enables us to become aware designers of our own fate, nurturing compassion and principled living in the immense tapestry of life. So, inside the box na ay meaning diha. So, we go into details. Kami nabasa na. Let us proceed to the components of human acts. So, we have three. So, a human act must have three key characteristics. So, it must be knowing, free, and voluntary. Okay, so first we have knowledge. Having knowledge before taking any action is crucial because it helps us consider the potential consequences and make informed choices. Knowledge also empowers us to evaluate the risks and benefits of our decisions. allowing us to make more thoughtful and responsible choices. Without knowledge, we may act impulsively, overlooking the long-term impact of our actions. In academic contexts, for example, having knowledge about subject before writing an essay or taking a test or quiz or exam allows us to present well-informed arguments as well as answers. So similarly, in real-life situations, being informed about various options or choices can help us in avoiding making regrettable decisions and lead to better outcomes or results. Okay. Then number two, freedom. Freedom is the foundation of personal liberty and self-determination. It enables us to mold our lives in accordance with our beliefs, interests, and our goals. When we have the freedom to make decisions, we accept responsibility for our actions, which can result in a feeling of empowerment and personal advancement. It's vital to understand that freedom comes with responsibility. While we have the freedom to make our own decisions, we must also consider the consequences of our actions on others and the society as a whole. This notion is frequently summed up with the saying, with great freedom comes great responsibility. So lahi ko to sa Spider-Man na movies, kaya nila dito is, with great powers comes great responsibility. But for ethics, we have this, with great freedom comes great responsibility. Okay, lastly, number three. Okay, anong 13 na lang mga participants, ani? Daghan nagpa-attendance, pero 13 ra kabuok o 14 na kabuok ang nag-participate. Let me check. First day, daghan kayo nagpa-attendance, but only 14 are participating. So where are the others? Okay, I hope next time kini nagpa-attendance apil po mag-participate sa ato ang live stream na klase. Okay, number three, voluntariness. Voluntariness highlights the necessity of behaving in accordance with our own preferences and will. We are more likely to be internally driven or engaged and invested in what we are doing when we engage in it voluntarily. This internal motivation has the potential to lead a more fulfilling and authentic life. Voluntary actions are more likely to be in line with our beliefs and personal goals, contributing to a stronger sense of purpose and fulfillment. Being coerced or forced into actions or pagkanang kursun ka sa mga butang na dili ni mo ganahan buhaton can lead to resentment and stress and a sense of powerlessness. Okay? Again, kung kursun daw ka sa mga butang na dili mo gusto buhaton, maka kuan ko na siya, maka-lead into resentment, stress, and a sense of powerlessness. So understanding these three essential components of human acts can assist us in leading more meaningful and responsible lives. We become active agents in molding our destiny when we have the information to make educated decisions, the freedom to act according to our values, and the willingness to pursue our goals. It also emphasizes the notion that each individual has the ability to make decisions and accept responsibility and accountability for their actions. Additionally, recognizing the significance of these essential components could motivate us to respect the independence and authority of others. It prompts us to consider the factors that might be affecting their choices, as well as the necessity of fostering an environment in which people can act knowingly, freely, and voluntarily. By doing this, we encourage a more just and courteous society where people can prosper and positively impact the communities in which they are living. Okay, so that's it for chapter 4. Again, we have there the activity of true or false, 15 items, and then the answers with explanations. So I hope you study and comprehend. Dili lang kayo mag-memorize. Kay once may i-upload na nato sa quizzes, ato ang irambol. Okay, para dili lang memorization ang gamiton. Okay, so irambol na to. Ang katong true or false. Okay, so that is it. That's for our online class for this day. Thank you for your participation. Bisag daghan nagpa-attendance pero gamay ra ang nag-participate. And I will see you next this coming Thursday, I mean, for your chapter 2 quiz, itong human acts. So, after din sa quiz, mag-oral explanation dayan mo. So, chapter 3 and chapter 4. So, I'll be questioning each and every one. So, there will be 3 chapters that you will be studying next meeting, for next meeting's class. Chapter 3 and chapter 4. So again, that's it for today's online class. Thank you for your time and for participating. God bless and thank you.